Yeah, big lead. Hickok 45 here with, guess what? You have been asking about this firearm a long time, requesting it for years, and I like to jump right on things, and I found one. A12 Browning A-5 or Auto 5. You're referred to by several different names, but it's a Browning A-5, Browning Auto 5, and this is a slightly older one, made in Belgium by FN. Dates back to, as you can see right there, 1972 was a good year, especially for John Browning, because they were still being made in Belgium at that time. I think they quit making them about 75, and then went overseas to, well, Belgium I guess is overseas for me, but went to the other sea. Well, depending on which way you're traveling, you know, if you could go further east, I guess. But anyway, in Japan, they've been building them there, and up until, I guess, around 98. So the things were made by Browning from around 1902 until 1998, almost 100 years, you folks in Kentucky, my relatives. And there's a new one that even came out, I think around 2014, a new version of it, but this is different. It's really not the John Browning design, but it has a little bit of the look, so a modern one that a lot of people apparently are buying and like. So this is a classic, and oh man, I'm going to talk about it a little bit and show you. I'm even going to take it apart and show you a little bit how it works, because it's a different sort of animal. It really is. Now, this is what I bought. Okay, and I had in my mind that I was going to do it if I found one, because generally speaking, it seems like sooner or later somebody I know, or a viewer, or somebody that lives nearby will eventually offer to lend us something. They have one, and there's so many of these around, but one just never did come our way, and I continued to get requests for it, and I have always thought they were interesting looking. I didn't know a whole lot about them. I'd never owned one. Not being a bird hunter, I guess, growing up, or I guess my knowledge of shotguns might be even more deficient than my knowledge of other firearms, other than your standard, 870s and things. Because I guess if you're a bird hunter, a rabbit hunter, and you grew up, and people in your family, had a lot of shotguns, and were always trading shotguns, like I've always done with handguns. And you just been around more shotguns maybe, but I just wasn't. But I'd see these in shops, and I'd hear people talk about them, and I always thought they looked really interesting. And I even have picked them up before, years back, and thought, wow, I like the way that thing sights. It's odd looking, but your eyes just fall right on the sights. And whereas with a lot of shotguns, as you know, you get your face down there on the comb, and when you fire it, it breaks your jawbone. But this just comes right up like it has a rib. And I think that's the intention that John Browning has. He had, was when you pull that thing up, it's just like you've got a big rib. The way that's squared off like it is. Sometimes it's called the humpback and everything, but it's really just a squared off receiver. So pretty interesting. Now those were slugs I was shooting. Like I said, I've had my eye out for one for the last year. I thought, I'm just going to buy one of these things. I've always thought they were kind of fascinating. John Browning designed it. And if I could find one, low end, beat up, a beater, and just, learn more about it, shoot it, do some videos with it, and trade it off or something, because I don't hunt. And that's always my reluctance, because most of the guns I run across like this are long barreled. But I was in a gun shop, it's been a few months ago now. And I was about ready to buy an old one, really beat up, older than this one. It had the long barrel, but it was really reasonably priced. There may have been something wrong with it. You know what, I'm just going to buy that. When one is never going to come our way, so we want to do a video with one eventually. I'm just going to buy that thing. I had it picked up and was asking the folks about it, and got to talking about it, what I was going to do with it, why I was looking for one. And yeah, that would probably do you there. He said, now we've got a buck special over here, a newer one, a little nicer one, if you're interested in looking at it, Well, I said, well, let me see it. Well, this is it. It's called the Buck Special. So it's really kind of a deer hunting shotgun, I guess you'd say. And you can tell by the sights, it really has nice sights. I mean, it has better rifle sights than metallic sights than most rifles I have. It's really, really nice. When you pull that thing up, that bee just lies right in there. I promise you, it is great sights. And because it's not rifled, the barrel's not rifled, but it's the Buck Special, and you notice the barrel's not all that long. It's only about 20, 21 inches. So that's right up my alley. Because again, I don't really hunt with them, but so I like a shorter barrel shotgun. So it kind of doubles as a, yeah, just a range plinker, even though it could be a defensive shotgun. You know, maybe not quite as short as you'd like, but it's not extremely long either. And you know, the other thing, I like to shoot slugs, right? You just saw me shoot 5. I love to shoot slugs. So this was just what the doctor ordered. I couldn't leave without it. Couldn't leave without it. And it's cool because it's not ancient, you know, 72 was it? But yet it's still one of the classic A-5s by Browning, still made in Belgium. Okay, and a beautiful gun, as you can see. Just now I got my pad. I do still like a little extension. Let me show you without the pad, okay? So you can see how pretty it is. Typical Browning wood, you know, not bad, huh? It's got the magazine cutoff right there, and that means that when you have rounds in the magazine, let's put some regular shot in. Let's see, I'll close the bolt. Safety's on. I'll put a couple in there and show you what that does. Actually, why don't we just go ahead and put 4. The magazine holds 4 rounds, and 1 in the chamber makes 5, and I think that might be why it's called the A-5, the Auto 5. Now with the bolt lock and gauge, pull it back. Now when I work the bolt, nothing comes out of there. So you know, whatever I put, I could load something else if I wanted, a slug, you know, and I've got the bird shot in there behind, whatever I wanted to do. But that's just what that is, magazine cutoff. Okay, and flip this back. Ooh. Now it's not cut off. All right, I can put 1 in, safety's on. Let's put another one in. Let's just take a couple shots with birdshot. This is 7.5. Again, of course, you know we appreciate Federal. You see it all over the table, right, in every video. This is target load 7.5. Okay, that's what we're shooting right there. Okay, it is a target-rich environment, and you can just know that it's a happy day for me. Let's go ahead and make it even happier by smoking that pot. Whoa, that really smoked it. Oh man. She's empty. Look at the smoke. Oh boy. Gosh. I hope the feds don't come down on us there. So yeah, this gun, again, designed in, let's see, 1898 by Mr. Browning. Is there anything he did not design that shoots? And then it was, I think it went into production about 1902. And then, like I said, until 1998, it was being made. Now, it also, Browning licensed it to Remington, the Remington Model 11. And some of you may own it. Many of you own this, many of you own a Remington Model 11. A lot of those were made also. And it's basically the same gun. It doesn't have the cutoff, magazine cutoff. It doesn't have the speed load feature, and I don't know, maybe a couple other things. But they're very common as well. Basically the same gun that he licensed to Remington. Savage Arms made, they got, I don't know, licensing or whatever, but they made them for about 20 years, I think, the 30s and the 40s. And but Remington made a lot of them from around the same time they started making them in Belgium, 1902 or 1905, I think, for Remington, up until after the World War II. Okay, so they made them for a long time as well. It's just it's a classic. We overuse that word, I know. This one is a classic because it was the first mass-produced semi-automatic shotgun. This is it. It was one of John Browning's crowning achievements. You know, he was really, really proud of this invention because it was that there was not another one other than the Remington, the copies of it, that were as successful commercially. You know, it was the first one that was mass-produced, and then the ones Remington made, the Model 11, were the first ones ever made in this country, because this was made in Belgium, okay, most of the time. A little more about that. Pretty cool gun, so distinctive looking, and I'm glad to be able to own one, because I've enjoyed it. I get it out and just go plinking around with it, and you know, I've trimmed trees with it already. It's just a great gun. Let's put some more slugs in. All right, safety's on. Let me show you the speed load feature here. Safety's on. Doesn't matter, we're pointed down range. With this particular firearm, if you put one in a magazine right now, look what's going to happen. Whoa! It jumps it out of there and puts it in the chamber. All right, so it's kind of a speed loading feature. You could have it unloaded and just shove one up in there real quick and it's going to fire. There's other ways to do that too, though. Let's put 4 more in. Yeah, this was made in Belgium up until World War II, and then they had to move because of the war. Busy place over Belgium ways, you know, by FN. Did I say FN? And they actually moved production back to the Remington in the United States during World War II. And then after World War II, around 47 or whatever, they started making them again over at FN in Belgium. And kind of interesting, just the history of that. And there's even more interesting things about it. Why FN ended up with it instead of Winchester. Oh, let's shoot this target here. What do I have? Oh, I've got slugs. Well, let's put a slug. Let's see if it'll go right on the X. That's my double shot. Actually, that's the wad for those of you who haven't shot shotguns much. We've got some special jugs of something there. I'm going to put one of them out of its misery. Oh man. Oh, so what do I have? 2 left. Let's try one on the red plate. All right, my new rifle. Let's try a ram. Yeah, my new rifle, really. Hey, it's the Buck Special, so it's designed to shoot slugs. What I was going to tell you before I was rudely interrupted by Hickok 45, Browning, of course, has a long history with Winchester, and he had some guns, I guess, made by FN, some handguns, I think, at that point, but he took this to Winchester in 1898, I guess, 99, along in there, and Winchester turned it down. You know, different stories about that, but they did. And they said no to him for a change. They thought it was strange, ugly, and, you know, whatever. Maybe didn't think it would be marketable. It was a new innovation at the time, you know, semi-automatic shotgun. You know, no one had been able to figure out how to get one to work, really. And so they passed on it. Well, I don't know if he'd had communication with the president of Remington beforehand or not, but he was pretty sure they were going to take it. They were dying to do business with John Browning, I would expect. He goes to Remington then, and while he's sitting in the office waiting to see the president to kind of work out and finalize the deal on this firearm, the president of Remington dies, has a heart attack and dies, while John Browning is in his outer office. And you know what was going on. Everybody started running around all of a sudden and all this kind of thing. So, you know, strange happenings, right? Determine the path of our lives, you know, like that. So then he goes to FN, and the rest is history. They're happy to have it. So that's why it's made in Belgium. Okay, you know, he tried Winchester, and things didn't work out so well for Remington, especially the president of the company. So Belgium, FN, ended up making this firearm, and happy that they did. So it was so successful for so long, and still is. A lot of people love this thing. I'm gonna put some more slugs in. Do y'all mind? I like it. It's interesting that so long in my life I had never even fired one of these things, maybe shouldered one or two. And that's the beauty of the hobby we're all involved in, most of us, if you're watching the video. There's so many different interesting firearms, and you just never get through them all, although we're working on it, right, John? And you know, here's this classic firearm that a lot of people have grown up with, a piece of their history, their lives, and I had never even fired one. As much as I shoot, you know, as many firearms as I have and have fired and been around. So there's always another one that is out there waiting to be experienced. So I'm working on it, and you better be too. All right, I'm gonna take out another ram. Since I have my Buck Special here, look at that. Let's try that turkey up there. Yep. Oh, a 2-liter right here. Ooh, there's a jug needs to be hit. Nice. Yeah, this could just double as my rifle. It'll get me a sling. Yep, got attachment there. And this is what I've always told you always, or remarked, that in states or certain counties you can't hunt deer with anything but a shotgun. There's still some of those left out there. You know, firearm like this, you'd not necessarily be at a huge disadvantage, would you? Now, there's nothing special really. You can get right down to it. It's just a smooth bore, and it's let's see, the choke on it. I'm thinking cylinder. Maybe I didn't. I'm thinking of another shotgun. But the buck special will be easy to find out. I get most of them are cylinder if they're for slugs especially, but it's just a smooth bore. Okay, the thing that makes this one especially nice though, I guess, for that is it's a Browning, you know, A-5, and it's so point. Oh man, it just comes right up to your eye. That sight does, and the sights are so good. You know, a lot of shotguns, you know, you've seen us do it here. It's amazing. I'm surprised all the time what I can hit with just a silly shotgun with slugs in it. This one has great sights on it, so boom, it's fun to shoot. We'll have to do a slugfest with this one sometime. What else did you want to know about it? Like I say, it was the first mass-produced semi-automatic shotgun, highly successful, made for about 100 years. Oh, I know what I was going to do before it gets any warmer. Just take it apart. The way it functions, let me show you before I put a round in it. Okay, we're sure it's clear, and everybody can see that. I wouldn't be doing what I'm about to do here. No, I'm not going to point it at John, but I'm going to point it at this table because it's pretty stiff. But if you put it on the table like this, if you look at the action, look how that works. When you fire it, see, that's the recoil. I'm about to push the table. See how that works? The bolt comes back. Well, I don't have the bolt forward. I guess I could put the bolt forward and let you see the bolt come back too, right? Yeah, push the bolt back, but that barrel retracts like that. How strange is that? And that's all part of the system John Browning came up with to figure out how to handle the shells. Because as I understand, I've read the shotgun shells were very irregular back then, especially. They weren't very consistent, and it helps to put pressure. Now we know it's definitely unloaded, so I'm going to grab the barrel, take some of the pressure off. I'll show you that it uses a friction system. It's kind of amazing to me after I see it that it works like it does. Form off. There it is. You got this spring, and that's the barrel for you folks in Kentucky. You got these rings, friction rings, compression rings, like that. Very important piece right there. And the spring, and one more back here. And you've got to make sure you get them on there correctly. And the way you put them on there actually determines, or what rounds you want to fire, determines how you put them on there and where you put them. You can move them around. I think you can put this one down here. There's another ring for like Magnum and all this kind of thing. But I'm not dare going to change a thing on this one because it seems to work. I've not had a malfunction yet. Have I? No, I've not had a malfunction. And so it works. So as it's coming back, like you saw, it's compressing that spring and it gets tighter. Excuse me, we're dealing with allergies again here. And that's how it works. And it kind of adjusts, it's self-adjusting, you know, in some ways. So leave it to John Browning, I tell you. It's just incredible all the things he came up with. Yeah, I gotta get this lined up, and I'm probably not smart enough to do it. There we go. But I might be lucky enough. You know, dumb luck has carried me through my life pretty well. Continues to serve me. Oh, definitely dumb luck, not just luck. There we go. All right. So that's how the thing kind of works. Again, you might want to study up on it. This is an interesting story, this shotgun, because it was essentially, again, the first successful semi-automatic shotgun. It's no big surprise. John Browning would come up with it. But just the history, the story, again, you've probably seen pictures of him holding this. There's one of him, I think he's just kind of holding it like this. It's in black and white for some reason, I don't know why. But he's kind of standing like that, and it's just one of his favorite inventions. He was very, very, very proud of it. And I'm very proud of him for doing it, to tell you the truth. Oh man, we got the old 97 out here. I think some guy named John Browning came up with that one. I think John Browning came up with this thing too, didn't he? We could drag out a table full of John Browning firearms. Wait, well, let's just put something different in. We got some number 4 buck here. And I was trying to think if there's some other lies I hadn't told you. I'm gonna take that out, put the pad on here while I'm thinking about it. What else do I know about it? It's a little different, and some of you who've had them for a long time can speak to that and chime in with your experience and what you like or don't like about them. You get a different recoil, a little bit different recoil feel to them. It's not unpleasant really, just it's just different with the barrel retracting the way it does. And I don't know, they probably get a bad rap in some areas. Maybe people who are skeet shooters just never don't like them. I don't know. There's probably areas where they excel. What was that putting? Oh yeah, again, 4 buck. But they're extremely common, and so a lot of you watching right now, I am so smart that I know, own one of these, some variation, and like I say, they're making them right now, but they're not really the same. They look a little bit like it. They've got a little bit of a hump here, but not anything like this. Okay. Oh, we have some targets left here. We can't leave without blasting a few more, like that blue thing there. Yeah, and this. Let's put another one on the target here. Okay. And again, for you new shooters, see, I've not shot that paper with slugs ever. I put one slug on it maybe, but those holes are generally from the wad going in. Okay, not buckshot. So if we put up a bunch of paper out there and shot it with birdshot, in that paper there'd be some perfect little holes. Look like you hit it with a semi-wad cutter, but it's the wad that holds the shot together. Is what that is. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, this is, gotta put some more slugs in. We really appreciate Federal furnishing these slugs. It's pretty brave of them to furnish ammo to me and John, the way we like to shoot. So we obviously appreciate that a lot. And I say it again, we get more help than we deserve. Buds, the NRA. Okay, and we hope you support the people that support us. We appreciate that. Appreciate you watching. So, you think, what did I put slugs in, didn't I? Let's try a bowling pin. You think it'll knock it off? And I don't really like that ram over there standing when I have slugs in this thing. Thought I hit it. It's not half. Oh, there's a cinder block over there. I wonder if I could hit it. I guess I did. And let's put one on the gong for good measure. Yeah, how many times do I need to repeat myself? This is my new rifle. This is my new rifle. It's especially pleasurable when you, I may have told you this before, I can't think what the firearm was, but I had the same sensation with this. When you get a hold of a firearm that you like it anyway, if it's shot crooked, you just like the design of it, and you think it's a cool gun. Maybe you don't even shoot it as well as you do others, but you just enjoy owning it and bringing it out because it's such a cool firearm for whatever reason. Well, it's especially nice when you have all those same reasons for liking a firearm like this, but yet on top of that, it's a great shooter. Now, I don't know if John Browning really intended for these to be great shooting shotguns. You think he did? Yeah, probably so. But they are, and it's really cool having one. And I feel like there was some other nonsense that I was going to share with you about it that I have forgotten to tell you. But you know how we are. We don't give you every little detail. We expect you to do a little homework. We expect to tease you with whatever we have, show you how it works, what we think about it. and that will take you to the encyclopedia. Anybody use those anymore? And learn more about it if you have interest in it. But the A-5 has been around a long time, and you'll see them in gun shops. If you know a gun shop in your area that has a lot of used guns, or you go to a gun show, you will see these lying there, various configurations and dates. You'll see them, and they just continue to be scarfed up by people, collected, and then traded and bought and sold just like any other firearm. So pretty cool gun, the Browning A-5, and again, still being made in a different configuration, but by Browning, and it's called the Auto 5, I think, or something. And this one was referred to as Auto 5 or A-5, but I think they're calling that one the Auto 5 because I know I Googled around and kept coming up with it, and I wasn't really interested in learning more about it. I'm hopeless. I like these old classic firearms if they work. So glad you came out and got a chance to enjoy this beauty. We'll do some more shooting with it, and if I forgot to tell you anything that I know, I'll try to share it the next time. Life is good.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I know I sure did. While I've got you here, I wanted to let you guys know about our friends over at SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. They are a fully accredited online distance learning program where you can be certified in gunsmithing, and you can also get an associate's degree in firearms technology. And they also do a lot of work with veterans. They accept the GI Bill. They also have hands-on experience, even though it's a distance learning program. So just want to let you guys know about them. Also, you can find them at sdi.edu. That's the Sonoran Desert Institute. And also, just want to let you guys know we have merchandise now. So if you want to buy any Hickok 45 merchandise, you can go over to our store. The link is in the description of every video. And there's also a link kind of on the header of the main channel page, the main YouTube channel. And so we've got that. And also, if you want to find more of our content in other places, it's everywhere. You can go to full30.com. We have most or all of our videos over there. You can also find us on Facebook, Hickok 45 Facebook. You can find Hickok 45 on Instagram. I think it's the real Hickok 45 over there. And then also on Twitter, it's Hickok 45. And then me, the son, John Hickok, you can find me at Hickok 45 and Son on YouTube. I also do a podcast called Gun Culture Radio, which you can find on that YouTube channel and also on iTunes. And there's also a John Hickok Facebook page, which you can find the link to on the Hickok 45 and Son channel page. There's a link over there. And that's all I can think of for now. It's a lot to digest, so you're going to want to think about that for a little bit and then watch one of these other videos that's like down there or over there somewhere, because some of these look pretty good.